A long time ago, people that took like psychedelic drugs like LSD, like in the 1960s, it was reported to us kids, because I was a little kid of about 5 years old back then, that LSD was a highly dangerous thing. Never do LSD. But people did, and sometimes then the reports that we'd hear, like maybe from like TV shows, or maybe that's where they heard the idea that people can have flashbacks. In other words, they were on acid and they were tripping balls and they were seeing things, and it was because they just had taken acid, which was like on a little blotter paper, a little tiny piece of paper, and they put it in their mouth or something. But the whole little tiny bit of this stuff was like super powerful, super concentrated, and it'll make you trip balls. In other words, really have a crazy psychedelic trip, like, wow, Imaginarium or something. Or anyway, the whole point of it is, what was the point of all of this? Oh, flashbacks. Flashbacks would be like, okay, so you had that day when you took LSD, and you haven't taken LSD for the past 10 years, and all of a sudden 10 years later, it's like you never took LSD, but you're having the same experiences that you were having that day 10 years ago when you took LSD. That would be considered a flashback. In other words, you didn't take LSD, but because you took the LSD the one time, you will always, never knowing when it's going to happen, possibly have a flashback to everything being, and the idea was that these were unpleasant things. Like the official government policy was, if you took LSD, your experience will be a horrible experience. And then they told us some people's experiences were maybe horrible or not, they ended up jumping out of an upper story window. So it was very dangerous to the physical body, this LSD, and that was one of the reasons given for why they made it illegal. But flashbacks, can there be other kinds of things that can be flashbacks? Yes. Sometimes your mind will bring you like a memory of an old dream that you had maybe 5 years ago. And you'll be wide awake walking, like I'll be walking down, and then all of a sudden this will come to my mind, to my attention, to my consciousness. It's like, this is a part of that dream that I had a long time ago. I remember this. This was like, I really had this dream. It was like, whatever kind of dream it was, and it's like, it's the exact memory. If you were like the first time you were there, you experienced it, and then you're like there, watching the same experience over again, you can feel the flavor of the whole memory. I don't know why this happens sometimes, but it does. But that's to me like a flashback, or a flashback to an old job that I had 25 years ago. I'm completely like, it's very, well, anyway, you might have these experiences if you're a human or something these days. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm older and I've had more experiences and my mind likes to sample old things. But the fact that it remembers dreams, that these dreams that are so weird, and you wake up and you remember them for like 5 seconds and then it's gone, and then, you knew you had a dream, but shit, I can't remember it. But, 5 years later, you're walking down the road and you have a flashback to that same dream. It's like, I didn't ask for it. That's when it arrived. And, the mysteries of the mind is why now. Is there some relevance why the mind has brought it to my attention? And then you can ask your mind, well, can you interpret this for me? And maybe the mind goes, I don't know what it's all about.